Good afternoon, good evening, or whatever the time might be, wherever you are.
Wherever you are,
I am
people.
Myles Sergé alongside my co-host D-KNOX, and welcome to MS Live. What's going on, D? How you doing?
I'm chilling like a villain, man. The weather switched up over here on me and
Huh.
had me kind of down a little bit. Felt a little under the weather, as y'all would
That's weird.
say. But my Superman strength is back, so took my vitamins and everything, got that back. But other than that, man, I was just trying to get my strength back for the past week. You know how it is when you get sick and then you're coughing and blowing your nose for a week after, and you just kind of feel run down every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, simply because of the weather, did a little switch up. How's things
Gotcha,
in your
gotcha.
hood, man? How's things in your hood?
It's been all right, not too much. I'm here in Grand Rapids right now. Uh,
G rap.
yep, I am here. I am at actually my boy Mark. Palm Michigan Beer is one of our sponsors. I'm at his spot right now. He allowed us to
Mm-hmm.
broadcast from here, so that's where I'm at. Thank you, Mr. Daniels. He may pop in shortly, but
That's
yeah.
cool.
So that's where I'm at, man.
Your
Not too much
hometown. Your
work.
hometown.
Yeah, I'm here back in Grand Rapids.
Your hometown, where we used to chill, where I used to train at the same gym with Floyd Mayweather back in the day. But Buster Mathis, boxing gym. Good old Grand Rapids, man. I got so many memories.
Yeah, that's crazy. Something's up on this iron. I didn't. This is the whole first time people have been watching this. I'm doing this like mobile somewhere else, so something's a little different. So I'll figure it out in a second.
Yeah, guys. So you got to give us a break because we
Yeah,
both
and
not
we had
in
this
the.
whole thing today. Like I guess over in Europe, the time changed. You guys lost an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
It went back.
Yeah. So in here in Michigan, I mean, we didn't change. So my time was my time, but they actually lost an hour. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, we getting it worked out. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us and understanding there's a little time confusion, but that's what you do when you broadcast worldwide and you have co-hosts and hosts from different countries and guests from different countries and situations. Because we do that, we bring this to you. That's what we do. So we try to do. Anyway, that being said, like, share, and subscribe to that channel. Hit that notification bell. It pushes us in the algorithms. It lets people know that we're doing something, and it helps people find us. So, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, and all the channels. Speaking of all the channels, we are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Just in case you don't want to see us, we can understand, that's fine. But you can also hear us. You're riding that bike, taking that jog, working, doing grocery shopping,
catching
crime, whatever.
that bus.
we hear, and you can hear us. You don't want to see us. You can hear us. That's fine. You can also follow us on Instagram at MS Live with D-KNOX. That is Instagram at MS Live with D-KNOX. We are also on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. I always get that confused, but at Myles Sergé, check us out there. You can also email us. The spill. We ain't get no hate mail because you love us, and that's great. But
Exactly.
suggestions, anything you want to contact us about, whatever. MSLive with DKNOX at gmail.com. That is MSLive with DKNOX at gmail.com. Today's episode, I am personally proud to have this person on. I personally consider her, I think of her as my little sister, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think of her that way. I've seen her kind of somewhat from start to finish, and I'm so proud of her. And she's just exploded to this phenomenon that's happening right now, and you guys should really check it out. That being said, let's bring to the stage the one and only, my homie, my little sister, Gabriella.
That is enough. Hello, you.
I'm fine. And I kind of paused because I did not want to give you no justice in messing up your last name. So I will let you say it.
Yes, a lot of people have massive troubles pronouncing it, but it's also kind of not very typical Bulgarian, where I am actually from. I am originally from Bulgaria, and my family name is it's very rare. So it's not only you guys, it's also the guys from my homeland. They're also running a little bit in the red sometimes. So Vergilov, that's the right way to pronounce it. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here and to it's actually, this is the second podcast interview that I'm doing, and I'm very happy that it's exactly with these two people, which I respect a lot.
Thank you.
We kind of go, I would say way back, and way back is like what I think, at least 10 years. I think
at least 10 years.
I think 10 years. I think 10 years. By the way, again, I really appreciate your introduction, Myles. I didn't expect to hear that, but I keep it to my heart.
Well, thank you. I tell the truth. That's what I do. Tell the truth.
Yes, someone's got to do it. Someone has to.
That is very true. That is very true. So, yeah. So if you've watched our show, I hope you have been watching it. We tend to make up a title for each episode, and today is your title.
All right.
Episode 26, GV-LOV. So, my first question, please explain GV-LOV.
All right. So, where should we begin? People who know me for being a DJ and producer within electronic music, primarily house and techno. Where did you go, by the way? Where are you? I cannot see you.
Because we're soloing you. This is your solo moment.
Yeah.
This feels like, oh my God, it feels so awkward. I'm used to like having my moment behind the DJ booth, and now, speaking of GV-LOV, on stage with GV-LOV, but this is a bit strange. I'm like looking at myself. It's as if I'm only talking to myself. It's a bit like I don't know, psychotic. Anyway, what is GV-LOV? Yeah, as I said, I started as a DJ and a producer when it comes to electronic music in particular, but GV-LOV is it's my life act. And if I also have to narrow it even more down, that's my childhood dream. This year, I have realized one thing, that dreams don't have a date of expiry. And I came to that conclusion in a unfortunate way. I did fell off a staircase in March. Wow. And I broke my right hand. And yeah, the universe put me on hold, and my whole life basically was paused for quite some time, I have to say. Literally and metaphorically, I had a lot of time on my hands, speaking of breaking a hand, okay? And I have reviewed the choices that I've made. Ironically, in the past, I made a track called The Choices We Make Define Who We Are. So I thought, do I want to be defined by the choices I've made in the past? Yeah, sure. I mean, this was me, right? But one thing I didn't want to be is defined by the choices that I didn't make, And one of these choices was to pursue a dream, which was something that I've been desiring basically since I was 3 years old. For whatever reasons, while establishing and working as a DJ and producer, I couldn't find the courage to pursue that dream. So that dream was on hold. And while I was on hold with a broken hand, I realized that, the time is never, it's never the right time for anything, but it's always here and now for what it is. And if we decide that this is the time, then the time is now. And this is the time for whatever we want to pursue. And I know that it sounds a little bit hocus pocus, maybe a little bit spiritual, but that's who I've always been. And I've always believed in strength, in finding strength in our vulnerabilities. And the moment was very vulnerable because I physically suffered a lot. I was in pain, you know. My hand was in a cast for nearly 3 months. I couldn't do basic things that people take for granted. And in that moment, I went back in time and I opened my hard drive and I was like, whoa, I have nearly 45 songs which have nothing to do with techno, house, and electro, what I am known for until now. And all these songs that I have created for the past, I think, 3 years, they're just songs to be put on stage, you know, be performed live, songs to invite people into a more intimate world, my world, you know, no more as the DJ, but as this time as the creator of my own unique sound. Because being a DJ is you always borrow someone else's tracks, right? Someone else's music to a very big extent, unless you are also playing, let's say, 50% of your own productions. But with live performance, it's entirely you. There is no one else there, you know. You're not borrowing anything from anyone. You know, the sound is yours. And that's very, I think, it's a very personal, it's a very personal story you're telling. And I think it takes some guts and some balls. And apparently after, you know, having an accident, a physical health accident, as they say, one day I just woke up and I said, okay, it's now or never. I'm gonna go for it, no matter what. So I have taken all these songs that I have created in the past 3 years, electropop, indie dance, electronica, and I started rehearsing the whole show. You know, I called my people here who provided me with a big space where I could, you know, take the whole sound and reveal my singing, practice my vocals, listen to, you know, to what I'm doing, to what I'm saying, to what I'm singing, watch myself in the mirror, record myself, then evaluate myself. So I prepared the show. I called it GV-LOV. And basically it's kind of simple. GV, it's Gabriella Vergilov, and love comes from Vergilov. And I also think it's marketing a smart thing, you know, to turn my name into something, because, you know, at the end of my alias, you have love, which is basically love. And this has been always my main theme in life. Yeah, not just, you know, love between a man and a woman, or a man and a man and a woman and a woman, but the idea of what this, you know, phenomena is. Because I think at the end of the day, we always seek for that thing, but nobody really knows what that thing is. So long story short, GV-LOV is music, it's a live act, it's pursuing my singing career, and it's indie dance, electronica, quite intense. It's a full-on 360-degree experience, sonic, visual, poetry, melody, dance, dramaturgy, theatrical, protagonist, and here we are. I
Wow.
cannot hear you.
Yeah, Myles, I don't hear you either. You hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, Myles, we
Myles, see, don't disappear.
we see you, we just don't hear you.
We see you. We see you.
Yeah, as we said, people, just be patient with us because we both are not in our environments right now. I'm actually in the living room.
Okay.
Um, so as I was listening to you speak about the live performance and everything, because I had done something like that recent myself. I had switched the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna start playing a live set from now on. Getting older, and as you were mentioning, playing other people's music all the time and everything. I wanted to do it for myself, and have to give myself a pat on the back because Horror was kind enough to let me play a third show on their platform, but totally just do my own live PA set, first time like that. Um, but because,
Congratulations.
oh, thank you. But because you were mentioning that, I wanted to ask you about Kink because I know you know him and he pretty much performs as a live act. Although I've seen him DJ at times too, but have you ever been, I want to say, inspired by some of his live sets at all? Did that give some inspiration for you to do your own live set? And also, could you tell me, like, did you know him back in the day? In your country, or like, how long have you known this guy actually?
We don't know each other from Bulgaria. We know each
Hmm.
other from the scene,
Okay.
but I think I know him. I met him at the time I met you guys. I think 10 years ago or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Basically, when I no, what was it? Yeah, basically when I dropped my first release, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and also information travels super fast in our homeland because you practically don't have that many electronic music artists who are, let's say, recognized internationally. It's only that many people. We can count them on my left hand, and that's that. And Kink is one of them, and I'm also one of these people as well. So yeah, we we met and we exchanged some well, he did give me some tips and tricks on producing music. Nothing
Hmm.
really big and wild. um but he was listening to some of my first demos and he was encouraging me quite a lot. And in time we became friends.
Yeah.
Regarding his live, he is really spectacular in what he
Yeah.
does. I don't really have to say much about it because I think I cannot put his energy into words. You have to experience that. There is another aspect that I started to understand why he is so intense in the most entertaining way. I actually recognize a little bit of myself in him because us Bulgarians, and I think the whole Balkan area in general, we are
Hmm.
very temperament. Okay, we carry that energy, and wherever we go, people recognize it, see it, feel it, sense it, smell it very fast. And I have this thing around myself as well as an
Hmm.
artist. The thing that I usually hear about myself is, "Oh wow, your energy," right? And it's kind of the same with Kink. So it's a lot of like this good energetic stamina that we carry. And he is definitely inspiring.
Yeah.
um, I think his drive for constantly developing something new, something extraordinary, something that people haven't seen, and carrying this smile on his face makes him this just fucking cool guy, to watch and of course to listen to. Now, when it comes to setup and performing live in the traditional live way of, let's say, electronic dance music, that is not something that I do. My live consists of my own instrumentals that I have crafted and created, composed, produced, mixed in my studio, but I'm singing live. My music is not vocal-less. It is voiceful. It's not voiceless. I'm an actual singer. So all these tracks, no, songs that I have performed in the first two concerts of GV-LOV, yeah, they're songs. They're full-on songs. They're, I think, classically structured songs,
Mhm.
um, or at least I think so. I might be wrong. Um, well, not classically structured in the commercial way, but you hear actual songs, not just tracks. So I don't really have um, I don't feel that at this point, as a performer and singer, I don't have the freedom and the time to actually perform the instrumentals on stage, bringing my home machinery with me, and at the same time singing. I'm not interested in that. Um, I feel okay just, introducing people in the beginning of the concert that, hey, that's what I've done. I've done all the backtracks. It's me. I don't work with any other producer. I'm the producer myself. But I'm also the singer and I have a voice. And probably this is my most recognizable instrument because previously with techno and house, I've been doing constant vocals on every basically track that I have put out. I've been also collaborating with other producers. So if you are in this little ecosystem of contemporary dance music, and if you have ever heard any of my productions, you're already aware that, oh, that's what she does. She also sings. So yeah, with GV-LOV live, I bring all the palette of these vocals of my voice on stage live, and in the back you have the instrumentals. I load the backtracks from right now from a USB stick through a CDJ, and then I bring my vocal chain run through Ableton, uh, and then I do the whole shebang. And it's very physical because I'm a former professional dancer, so there is also a lot of body language, and it's a stage presence that I incorporate in my life, and I feel very much me. So no, it's not what King does. It's what a traditional singer does. Just that difference is that I don't have my orchestra in the back and I don't have my band in the back because I happen to be my own band. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah. But I had to ask because, I met him in Warsaw here actually, but he, there was a situation where someone was asking about a track I did on Black Nation back in the 90s. And he somehow, someone mentioned that it was my track. And then he was emailing me and I didn't recognize that it was him because the name said something different, like some acid something. But he was asking me, like, how did you make this track, yada yada. But ever since then, we started having conversations and chatting. And as you said, I noticed. I said, yeah, he's got high energy. He's got this good energy about him and this deep passion for making this music. So I definitely see that what you're talking about in both of you because I actually remember seeing you. And thanks for playing a few of my tracks. I saw some of the videos.
My
In fact,
pleasure.
one of them, you were really like dancing to it and everything, and I felt the energy from that too, as you were saying. Because I see, even when I'm DJing, I'm not moving that much like that, or not smiling that much, because usually I'm trying to figure out, okay, the sound, something slightly off here, or like the mixer or the monitor. So, or someone has instructed me to watch the levels and check this out and check that out. So I can't like fully enjoy the show,
Yeah.
most of the time. So people, did you have a good time? Yeah, I had a good time, but I had to juggle my thinking because I had to watch this, do that, think about this, and not just focus on the music. But it's nice to see both of you actually with such high energy and the movements you guys do when you're like playing it. I always put a smile on my face for sure. So I get that you didn't know each other until you basically met Myles and I, around the same time. But could you give us a glimpse of what early life was like for you, though, growing up in your country? And then the other question I'll ask: what is life like now, where you're living? The day to day, and you can add the boring stuff as well. Okay, I go to the park. I'm going shopping, or because I noticed that you also like food as well. So you could tell us about that too, some of your favorite restaurants, but just trying to give the people a glimpse into your day to day and your past as well, you know.
So, yeah. So speaking about, being energetic and moving while DJing, for me, that's because I come from a professional dancing background. Um, how did my life started and how it was in Bulgaria? Well, it started with classical ballet and then contemporary
Mm,
dancing. I did a little bit of traditional Bulgarian folklore dancing.
okay.
I played piano classically. My father founded the second recording studio in Bulgaria after the fall of communism. My mother was very aesthetically driven. So basically, my whole life as a child was all about music, all about the movement. I know the thrill of performing in front of people, being on stage, doing rehearsals, doing auditions, doing annual concerts at the local cultural house and opera in my hometown. I know all that thing. So that actually fast forward helped me with with performing in front of people as a DJ, and now it's helping me as a live performer, um, as a protagonist on stage, as a singer as well. But
Mhm.
back to my homeland, Bulgaria. My childhood was uh yeah it was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Growing up in Bulgaria, where things always happen 5 years behind, delayed,
Oh, okay. Okay.
late. It's You don't really get much of what was happening in the Western world back then,
Hmm.
especially before the internet era. Um, but actually, I think that I'm happy that I know both of these worlds, before the internet and after the internet, because yeah, we as kids we used to play a lot outside in the streets,
Hmm.
and we spend a lot of time also with our parents, helping them, watching them cooking. I loved my grandparents. They had all kinds of animals: chickens, pigs, horses, donkeys, sheep, anything that you could
Wow.
imagine, and homegrown food. So I spend a lot of time with music, but also in the nature and honoring nature and homegrown food, um, and just being in very close proximity to, I think, what is the spiritual, not that much the material, but the spiritual, because music for me is
Hmm.
spiritual and nature for me is spiritual. And now going back to where I come from, I think that I could only say, well, you know what, I don't come from the most well structured and organized country, um, but I have had a life that made me, I think, quite um, um, resistant,
Right.
to to the hardships. Um, and moving to Denmark from Bulgaria, I have a very different life because I live in one of the most socially well organized countries, generally, not just in the EU, but in the whole world, I think. Um, and I feel privileged actually to be here.
Wow.
But
Okay.
it's not just, oh yeah, you get everything served on the table, no, it's there is some rules here that you have to follow, and if you don't follow the rules, then you're getting sanctioned, right?
Hmm.
And something that you know something that it's quite far away, um, far away from the idea of how my motherland operates. There is a lot of bureaucracy, so um, you always have to know someone who knows someone who knows someone if you want to make it work back in Bulgaria. For
Hmm.
example, being a musician, being an artist, that's almost like a no-go, because uh, people out there have this mentality of extreme individualism. I think it's a little bit the same with American mentality. And people are very like money driven, status driven. Whereas here in Denmark, what I like super um, appealing to me is um, the laid back life,
Okay.
the focus on the things that really do matter in life, like your health, for example, like your body, your tonus, your circle of people, your friends, your family, your free time, your mental health. So basically, I grew up in 360 degrees, completely different environment than the one that I'm, occupying right now, um, which is, as I said, it's not that it's an easy life, but it's a very livable life here. Um, and sometimes I find myself in between experiencing still cultural shock, because I was so much used to being judged and not understood. And just sometimes I was basically being called a weirdo in Bulgaria because I didn't have the traditional interests of a kid. I prefer to be in my own world and listen to my music, you know
Hmm.
and go to my dancing classes rather than doing anything else, right? While girls my age, they were interested in boys, they were interested in um yeah, just being the best student in class, being admired. And I was like, no, I just want to fucking dance, I just want to learn the lyrics of every single song uh, of my favorite band artist, and I want to learn the moves back in the day. It was Alia, um, and the dances that she did, and the early Destiny's Child. What was it? Yeah, En Vogue, a little bit of Spice Girls, Madonna, Prince. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to. I just wanted to move.
Yeah.
It felt like living in a country where things happen super slow, and usually, uh, usually everybody goes in packs. There is not much movement of the individual, you know. So I decided to look for my progression, for my evolution elsewhere,
Hmm.
and I'm really happy that I chosen Copenhagen.
Hello, testing one, two, three.
So, but Okay, he's back.
Yes, no,
He's
yeah.
back.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey.
We missed you.
I miss myself too. I don't know what happened. I was abducted, but I'm back.
You were abducted by silence.
Yeah, that's what it was. Did you finish? I think you want to ask something else, and then I got a question when you finish your question.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna ask, like, are you doing, like, far as work wise, you're just pretty much doing your art. You're not like, you don't like have a job there or anything like that, right? Like, where you living at now?
Well, 2 years ago, I went through a serious burnout, and that affected actually my health. And I think for a woman, that's quite crucial. Unfortunately, women suffer much more, when it comes to health than men. That's just fucking facts and research and data-based stuff. So I had to take my health very serious, and I decided to just leave everything else on a side and focus basically on what really makes my heart full, and that is art, music. And I actually had the time to prepare a lot of the material for GV-LOV, develop the concept, write down the scenario, gather the people who helped me actually put this project into fruition, which is a very, very tough thing to do when you are independent artist, when you're freelance, right? And I really went the hard way, I have to say. There were a lot of unknowns in my head. How should I do that project? Where should I how should I just where and how should I release it? Because it's music that's so different than just DJ club music. It's alternative, and also my approach towards my life had to become more alternative than the usual 9 to 5 if I wanted to save my art and of course my health together with that. But I right now I'm having side hustles. I'm doing social media digital marketing for brands because I mean, I've always been interested in creating some sort of content, even before the era of Instagram, when people used to have blogs. I had a blog, and I used to write a lot, and I used to do photography as well. And as well, I also come from a background of working as an editor-in-chief for a huge media in Bulgaria, which is lifestyle, art, culture, music, fashion-driven, everything that you could imagine that falls under the lifestyle umbrella. And I already had this experience. So now with the whole digitalization, automation, it just makes sense for me to actually take this that I have worked for, before, and give it to someone else and obviously monetize on it. So yeah, aside of my art and music, I also do a lot of social media development and concept developments for brands.
Oh, you heard that, people? If you need to get your Insta up,
all right,
TikTok too, then
yeah,
hit her up.
Yeah, she does a lot, man. She does a lot. I know early on, like it's probably been about like a year or so now that me and Gab, we talk a lot. Not a lot, because she's been busy with doing her show, but we usually talk a lot. And I remember she was telling me about, before it was actually a concept, she was like, "Hey, I've been sitting on this project." It was the album, and it had been at least 2 years that she's been sitting on it, and she was telling me about it. I'm like, "Well, send me the damn album. Let me hear it." And I listened to it, and it was like nothing I ever heard before, at least from her. And I sat back and I listened 2, 3, 4 times. And then you when something really grabs your attention, when you can like just, I'm washing dishes, it's in the background and stuff like that, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, this is actually fucking good. So,
and then he texted me, like, I remember that day. Sorry to interrupt. He texted me. He's
go ahead.
Hey, I'm in the studio. Can I call you? Did you do that yourself? And I'm reading and I'm just like crying because I'm like, oh my God. Like, you're asking me this question, it means that it's goddamn good, you know? And yeah, I remember that day we had a conversation. And,
Yeah, it was just
I,
good. And I'm like, what are you going to do with it? She's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably nothing. I'm going to say, I was like, no.
yeah.
You need to put this shit out. I don't know where the hell you're going to do it yourself or send it out. I think she did send it out, you know, for a few labels. We were just thinking like, it's outside the box, totally out, but it's good. It's outside the box and good. And I'm like, who the hell why would you, like, she's like the next, like, and not to compare you to this person, but I'm just comparing it to like this level. It's like the next fucking Madonna, but like better. So that's the shit. I'm like, you got to get this out. You got to.
I'm not that young anymore. Ah!
You're younger than her, so like that, you know what I mean? Like, this has to get out, you know? And then we talked, and she was going, you know, trying to work some angles and send it to here and there, and people just wouldn't pick it up on it. And then I was like, just put it out yourself, which I don't know what she's doing with it. But then from that concept, she was like, you know what? I want to take this. I want to perform this live. And so me talking to her at least 2 years ago, just to see where this came, and she's actually doing it. I'm like, God damn, she's doing it. And that's why I say, like, I'm like so proud to know her, to do this, and to see her do this shit. I couldn't do that, bro. I couldn't come up and come do this show and do all the things she's doing, and it looks dope. So that being said, my question was like, I see, you know, what's going on with the performance in the show. How is the performances going? How are the crowds reacting? And what's the hardest part of this whole thing to you that you thought, like, is it easier than you thought it was going to be, or is it harder than you thought it was going to be? Because I tell you what, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's nothing to you.
First of all, thank you for believing in me. Second of all, actually, I have to say to our audience that Myles has been one of the few male figures in my life, particularly around this project, that has been so much encouraging me to actually get there with it. I did start working on the project 3.5 years ago. I think that was 3.5 years ago, and I consciously put myself in studio and I said, now I'm gonna make something different, right? So parallel with making techno and house for the past 11 years, I've always made music that was different than house and techno. Music that is corresponding to my current sound as GV-LOV. But I never send it to anyone. I never released it whatsoever. So 3 years ago, I had a conscious act of making more of this music, but polishing it and actually putting it out there as a concept. So we spoke with Myles 2 years ago, and then finally this year, again, after I broke my hand was still in a cast, by the way. My hand was still in a cast. This was April, 1 month after I broke my hand. I woke up one day and I was like, fuck it, this is it. I'm going there. I have to put the show on stage. I don't care if my hand is broken. I don't care if I'm sorry to say that I cannot like wipe my ass, because literally that's what happens when you know, it's like you're demobilized, you know, like you cannot do anything. I had to have people coming in at my place chopping, you know, cucumber, because I cannot do anything. Opening a jar, brushing my teeth, you know, you use this hand only, because that one didn't work. And I was like, how the fuck am I going to do that? I have to, you know, I have to hold a microphone. I have to bring my laptop, my sound card, my my in-ear monitors, my all my cables. I have to do all the fucking cabling, at the studio, because the studio is not in my place. It's somewhere else where I'm rehearsing the show. How the fuck am I gonna do this thing? So like there was a logistic, issue. Imagine. And I was like, no, I'm going there. And I don't know how I did it, but I started rehearsing literally. And then 2 months in after the rehearsals, I called some people here in Copenhagen in the scene, and I said, look, I have this new project. It's been sitting, with me for 3 years now, and it's live performance. It's a concert. So people were like, yeah, okay, these are the dates, come, in some of the clubs that I work with, they have days in the week where they do concerts, right? So I was lucky enough to get these dates. I had 2 dates in Copenhagen, 1 date in Sofia, which was 2 weeks ago, by the way. And now I'm having 2 more dates with the live show, one in Berlin and one in Hamburg. So the show is going well.
Yeah.
I've done 3 shows so far. Obviously, the level of anxiety and nervousness is really off the roof. I believe that if you're not worried about your performance, then probably you're way too comfortable. And if you're way too comfortable, probably you're losing the taste of it. So I'm experiencing stage fright, and it's quite actually severe, I have to say, because at the last show I had a panic attack. It's like when you have a panic attack, I'm a neurodivergent person, by the way. I have complex PTSD and chronic depression. So experiencing panic attacks can be very, very shocking for the body. Like you start shaking and, basically you cannot move. At least that's what I experienced. So I had this thing during my last show. But I found peace, and I managed actually to jump on stage. And once I've jumped on stage, and it was a completely different person. So I think that performing my own music on stage live gives me peace. It actually puts me at ease. Is it difficult? Yeah, I think it's difficult because at this point I do everything myself, from logistics to communication through management, and it's a lot of work. Okay. There are these memes going on around the internet that goes like that. Yeah. Being a DJ nowadays is like, oh, everything but being a DJ. You have to be a social media specialist, graphic designer, promoter, manager, agent. So it's basically the same with me right now. I only have +1 alias more, so it's actually double, triple work. And I think that's the most difficult part. The performative part, where you are in front of a group of people receiving your work, your music, your rhythm, your movement, your dancing, your voice. I might sound a little bit cocky here, but it really does come easy to me. And I know why that is, because as I have said earlier, I already have this experience. It's not that I'm just starting it now. Like, I've done that my whole entire life, So for me now, the most challenging part was how to cultivate my voice in a powerful yet beautiful way in front of audience, right? Because I'm moving a lot, there is a lot of adrenaline running through my veins. You need to focus on breathing, diaphragm, controlling the body, controlling the voice. And these are the things that I'm still, learning. I mean, it's only been 3 shows so far, but it's an exciting process, I have to say, because it's a learning process. And it's not something boring to learn. It's something actually that brings you a lot of satisfaction, you know. And I only have to say that after I've done the first show, I woke up the day after as a completely new person. I've realized that, whoa, this is me. This is the epitome of the artist in me. You know, everything else before and up until now, I think was just the base, establishing a baseline, you know, and now it's time to build on it and let it grow, and also let the tentacles go, you know, wherever they have to go, and reach to whatever source they have to reach to, you know, in terms of audience or labels or representation or collaborators or anything else that is also considered the business side of the music side, because that's also something that I'm learning with this project, is that that type of music has to come with some sort of a plan, you know.
Yeah.
So
Are you is it like difficult right now to try to get that plan together?
I a lot of my friends are helping with whatever they can. um um for example, I have a friend who's very good at pitching um ideas for grants and, you know, funding and stuff. So he is teaching me how to write, how to systemize ideas, how to conceptualize my art ideas into a more, you know, straightforward, call it a boring business way, so that my idea gets picked, so that I get to, as an artist, record my album in a proper environment, or eventually, if I want to, could invite a drummer and, of course, pay that person to deliver, you know, something extraordinary to my performance, or have I don't know, a PR team to pitch, you know, my music to all these magazines, because you know, these days everything is paid, you know.
Right.
So can I do that by myself? I don't think so. This whole project has been DIY, and I've already spent a lot of money on it. But the good news is that since it's very much out of the box, and it's no longer, let's say, just DJing, it's the type of project and concept that flirts very well with all things lifestyle, be it starting with fashion, right? Because the visual identity that I'm creating is very strong, and it's already recognizable. People already coming to 3 shows, they can see, you know, the ever occurring element that is always present in the visual side of the protagonist. Then fashion, then it could be anything from visual and digital art. It could be mental health, because the topics of my songs are related basically to my life, and there is a lot of a lot of mental health driven energy in my life. I am personally interested in that, so I have wrote some of the lyrics in that order, in that direction. Um, um, and I think with that project, I could really just be playful, because I think with DJing, I felt a little bit restricted, you know? My artistry felt a little bit restricted. Whereas here, I feel like, okay, today I want to write a song about men, you know? I want to dedicate a song to men. But then I also want to create the whole universe around it. And I want to go and take my camera and I want to go and do photographs, portraits of 15 men. And then I want to tie this song to that photography project. And then
Mhm.
at the end, I want to put that in a fucking gallery, present the photographic work, okay, present my muses, and perform the goddamn song. So it's like, you know, yeah, that project really gives me that certain type of freedom, which I've been really craving as an artist. But I guess I was just afraid to 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 say to the world what I want.
Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say, like right now at this moment, that to me, this is what I'm kind of picking up, and if I'm wrong, just let me know. I think you're really bored of the DJ stuff. I think right now this is like mad energy for you. Like the DJ it's the DJ is one thing, like you said before. I'm just really kind of just playing other people's music, but I think for me, for what I see, like this whole project and this concept that you're doing, it's like a revitalization of you. You know what I mean? As far as your energy, and it's like, yo, I've been wanting to do this forever, and now it's here, and this is where I'm at. The DJ kind of stuff, it got me to this point, but this is it. You know what I mean? So that's what I really see, you know, in my personal opinion. And I'm just like, hear you, and how I can sense how excited and just how the energy coming from you, like, because like I said, I've known you for years, and we've always had a good connection, just hanging out, and you've always been like this, like, burst of energy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I see. I personally, I love it. Actually, you know what I mean? It just seems like this is where you. I think this is where you belong. Like this is it. You know what I mean? Like I see you doing this. I see you being on a big screen, being some type of actress, doing something like way bigger. I've always told you that it's bigger. You're one of these people that's bigger than this moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just getting everybody else to see it. Some people can see it, you can see it, I can see it, but that you're meant for way bigger things than the things that you're doing now. That's just my 5 cents, and that's why I'll put it right now.
Yeah, you deciphered me very well, and I also want to add a little something that that D-KNOX said. Well, he did actually ask me about my early life and how did I grow up. So, coming back to you and to him, I unfortunately I didn't grow up with a lot of support on my desires as a kid. I was lacking attention from my parents. They were busy doing other stuff, and I guess I found my own comfort in music, and doing that now, it feels like I'm doing it for the little girl in me, for the inner child, you know, that craved something that she couldn't, you know, verbalize or vocalize or just pinpoint what exactly that was. And then as a child, you know, who's lacking something, obviously you're finding coping mechanisms and stuff. And I believe that music is my calling. But I also believe that music, aside of being a calling, is as well a coping mechanism. And I just happen to be good with that. And that's why I said after I broke my hand, I had this urge of just taking care of that inner child of mine and going inwards, so deep inwards that I almost didn't feel the fear that I felt before I broke my hand, when I felt that I was just primarily doing autopilot, you know? Yes, I'm a very good DJ, I'm a good producer, people always enjoy my sets and they always want more, but I felt that with DJing, I was just going like that, you know, and there was no you know, gradation, you know, and I felt very stuck. And I guess I felt stuck because my mission is a little bit outside of the traditional DJ box thing, which is now coming into place with this live project, which I see how people react to it. They react very positively, actually, to a point where people are like, oh, please don't stop doing that. And like, if you hear this like 5, 6, 7, 10 times, you know, in the course of only 3 concerts, right, then you know that, okay, I might be good at that, you know. So it's not that I'm ditching DJing or I'm replacing it with a live performance. I think I will keep on DJing for a long time. But you're very right. The thrill is elsewhere. Really, like the full reveal of my personal potential as the artist who I am is what I do with GV-LOV. And I'm not imitating anybody, or I mean, if I have to also be honest, I haven't even listened to that much new music lately because I was so focused and so swallowed by this whole thing. I had to be in my own bubble, you know, to actually make this shit work. Because now throwing so much energy into, you know, into something that you've always dreamt of means that anything else could be a potential defocuser. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I was gonna bring up something to see if you remembered. Actually, do you remember that dinner we all went to in Miss Sabine, the place she suggested?
In
In
Berlin.
Yeah, like we were all at OIE, and
Yeah.
I don't remember all who was there that day though. It was a bunch of, it was like a gang of us. But
Yeah.
do you remember that little spot she recommended and none of us liked it? It was like some
too.
Asian place or something. Some Asian ladies had the kids
Yeah.
all in there and made something for us, and we all were like, Sabine, why this place? Like, it wasn't. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember who. I think Witches was there. Maybe Wynette, you, me, maybe Sebastian, Sabine, but I get some other people were there too. I just can't remember. But I just remember that time, that day. That's like, maybe that's one of the last times I actually like saw you physically.
Yeah, I
And,
think so
you know,
too.
that day was there. That's why I brought it up. Just you know, just to see if it was still.
I do remember. Yeah. I remember we were talking about it actually. Yeah, that people didn't want to go to that restaurant.
Yeah. So as Myles was talking about, he sees you in a much higher position, you know, a higher place. Have you ever considered like doing something like that on you, like having your own YouTube channel and, you know, maybe having someone follow you around with a camera and documenting things and sort of putting yourself out there on YouTube, but something like, you know, a large channel or something like this? Like,
So it's funny because often when I throw stories on my Instagram, Instagram is my preferred social media platform, I have to say. I don't really keep up with my Facebook. TikTok, I don't post anything there, but I think I should.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should.
But yeah, especially now with the life act, because it's just a different character and it's attention grabbing. But going back to that, I already do similar stuff on Instagram. YouTube is a really big scope for me right now, but I could definitely do it simply because whenever I put something on my Instagram, on my story, and people usually comment quite fast, they're like, "Oh my god, you should have your fucking reality or something."
For real, you should.
Yeah, that's why I was. Yeah.
But
you have somebody following you around. Like, are you the videographing the performances and the?
It's a yeah. Like I'm not afraid of it. Like I know I can do it. But the question is, um, I feel with social media, I feel like over flooded with information, and I feel very much overwhelmed. Okay. Because the majority of what you see actually on my social media, it's me. Like, I'm doing everything.
Right.
Once in a while, I have videographers. When I'm doing the press photos, it's obviously someone else like doing. But often when I do the videos, I think 90% of what you see on Instagram is me, which means that I am the goddamn fucking videographer and editor as well, and graphic designer and everything else. And it is just so much time consuming that at this point, I mean, I either have to make a choice. Am I going to be, like a YouTube star, or am I going to be, a music artist?
Right.
And I think like finding the balance somewhere in between is the most difficult task nowadays, simply because everyone is on social media and everybody, wants to blow up. So how do you then blow up, and how do you become, different in the sea of sameness? And that already as a concept overwhelms me. It already like pressures me so much. Because I have a lot of ideas, but they all like just, bump into each other, right? And then at the end, I have to kill actually a lot of darlings to make just one idea stand out. And I think it's also the same with the approach for social media. Right now, my focus is Instagram, and I'm already feeling super pressured and already stressed, knowing that I have to pick on TikTok as well. And I see what's happening. YouTube is a completely different niche, and it's a completely different approach than Instagram and TikTok. So that again means, taking time off my music creation and music performance for the social media. But I guess if other people can do it, I can also do it. So thank you for the encouragement as well. I might give it a go.
Well, yeah, because it's just a long, it's like using Instagram and TikTok for the short things, but YouTube is more like, your long form content. So you could actually tell a story. But as when Myles was talking, I actually visualized in my head. I said, I think that would be great because probably she wouldn't have to do much. Just like if she's performing somewhere, film it, or in her studio, just film it. Like film a 5-minute video of herself performing live at home, in her studio, or just somewhere out and about or whatever, or just whatever she's recording when she's walking around. Because I think it's definitely TikTok. You could just probably put whatever you're putting on Instagram, the same thing on TikTok, like the same moment, just post and then post. But I think the YouTube, I know it's a bit more commitment and more work. I don't think you would have to sacrifice your music career for it, but I think you could really shine there, is what I'm saying, because then you can give people more of a glimpse into you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Like maybe the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I mean, I think I'm some sort of like a Neanderthal. Sorry, because
a what? Could you say that again?
Neanderthal.
Okay.
Neanderthal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think like I'm like one of the first people, on earth who knows nothing, we didn't know anything, before the Big Bang, so to say. So sometimes I feel I'm so old school. I don't really keep a track on so many things in life, and I know that just because I am not a dedicated YouTube user, it doesn't mean that YouTube is not a good platform for my story. So thank you for saying that, but I just have the feeling that people are much more on the short attention span social media platforms rather than being on YouTube. Or maybe I am wrong. I don't know.
I think it's a little of both.
Yeah.
It's a little of both, but I think unfortunately where we are now, you have to capture all angles.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because there's people like, I mean, hell, we're older than you, and long form content, I think it stands the test of time, and it's going to be there. You know what I mean? The
Yep.
short form thing, you need it to catch possibly like the younger people because their attention
Do
is
you think that? Do you
20
think that it's
seconds.
gonna be there?
I believe so. I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, you look at it like now, like so. There's like TV shows and things from my childhood that are still up. I mean, I can find them if somebody posts them, but I'm still actively looking for it.
And they're
And
on YouTube too.
on YouTube now, you know
And
what I mean?
YouTube's changing. YouTube's is going that TV route. Like some people gonna be putting their TV shows there
There's a
and
lot,
everything.
a lot,
So it's
and so, and just to have it there, like right now, you're episode 26. So I started this podcast maybe the week before I came to Berlin for the last tour. And we're on 26 episodes. Now, a part of that was trying to get more content, which it's a lot, and it is a commitment, it's a lot to do. But so far, I have 26. And each time I go back, I can go back and look. One episode might have had 2 viewers. Now it's 120. It's slowly going to build, but I know that the further we go out, somebody's going to always come back and be like, hey, what the hell is this guy? These 2 black dudes from Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo on a podcast interviewing these super dope international house, techno, and whatever artists on a more personal level, and it's not all about the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something. You know, I think that's our niche, and it's not like it's like you know, it's super structured. I think we're kind of laid back and it flows. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think the content's there. It's going to be there, but at the same time, I also know, hey, I got to catch people. So I do the little shorts and I clip them up, and it's just like one of these things you got to do. But I think D is right. I think he's right. I think he's totally right, and I think people are ready for someone like you to show this long content with the short content, which you do very, very well. You do. I see it every time. I'm like, oh, she's doing something else, and it's dope. And you do things to catch people's eyes. You know what I mean? So I think it all goes hand in hand in what I think, and I think.
I mean, man, you could be up in there cooking because I'm gonna tell you, I like them when you be posting them food pics. I'll be like, man, what is that, man?
I love
Like,
cooking.
there'd be a
Yeah.
lot of them too. So
Yeah.
you just
you asked
do
me some of the
episode
things.
singing and cooking up in there.
Yeah.
You know, like put the camera up in the kitchen in 5 minutes, and then come on, CapCut, just use the AI, edit it. It's like
You
can even edit it
absolutely
for you.
you're so right. Because you also asked me to share a little something from my boring everyday life, and that's what I really love doing, cooking. I do intuitive cooking, which means I use whatever I have in the fridge. Okay. Like I don't do waste. Like I always use every single product that I have. I think it's very disrespectful towards nature to throw its givings for us. You know, is its offerings. At least that's how I see it. So I just pick this and that, you know. And even if I have that much of a little carrot, it still goes
It's in
into
there.
it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a way to make something with it.
You get a cookbook.
I actually I want to with yeah, because I have a lot of recipes. Fun thing. Okay, like no, 2 weeks ago, I had a show here in Copenhagen. It was for a community live stream online radio, where basically on each hour you have a DJ playing a different style DJ set, right? And I was invited to do the closing, but I was supposed to do a GV-LOV hybrid set, which I wanted to be half an hour of live performance and half an hour of a DJ set. You know, hybrid combined. Now we had a major technical issue, so actually I couldn't perform live. And I took it to a 1 hour of straightforward DJ set, which went great. But because they know, the radio people, they know that I love cooking, and they called me and they said, "Hey, do you want to do something about your performance about that night?" I was like, "What are you suggesting? You want me to curate the menu?" So basically, that's what I did. I curated one part of the menu because that community radio is placed in a club, and the program starts at 3 in the afternoon and it finishes at 10 at night.
Mhm.
In between that time, you can actually grab a bite, you know. So they cook, and it's really nice, chilled Saturday-ish, you know, people gathering. You can even have like a like a small dinner there while listening to great music. So that's what I did. Actually, I cooked until 2 in the morning on a Friday, and later on during the day I went there. My friend, she was also cooking with me. Actually, we were two girls cooking, making Bulgarian traditional dish and Bulgarian alcohol shots. So we did everything, and we went there, you know, and while I was like playing a DJ set, people were munching traditional Bulgarian phyllo egg and cheese pie. And yeah, it's like, as I said, it's a lot about combining different forms of expressions.
Mhm.
Music and food, they go very well together for some reason, you know. Um, at least that's what I know from a lot of our colleagues, DJs. We all love to cook and to eat, right?
After you stop.
I think also
Everything.
both of you. I think also both of you, you are, you know, in in that spectrum too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
oh, what I was about to say. Oh yeah. Well, it's been great talking. To get to know more. Like, we know you. I
yeah.
think people,
That's the thing.
no, it's kind of
I know
hard
you
to interview people that you know, but I'm glad that we like this interview, that we kind of focus more on what you're doing in the actual show. And I think that's where I wanted to really focus. And I think people have a better understanding of what you're doing, what's actually happening, and where you're going. And I'm grateful for you to be able to join us today, for sure. So
Likewise, I'm so happy that we.
yeah. So that being said, let's tell the people where can they find you? What you got going on soon? When's the next show?
You can find me on Instagram at Gabriella Vergilov, Gabriella Vergilov, aka GV-LOV. I have 2 upcoming shows in Hamburg and in Berlin. In Berlin, that's going to be a live singing and a DJ set later on after the concert. Hamburg, that's going to be a live singing. And local shows here in Copenhagen. My international DJing is a little bit on a standby because all my focus go on the live project, and I really want to push that and get myself out there and actually do proper concerts next year. But I'm always open. If a promoter is watching this, I'm always open to come and bang the shit out of your, you know, techno club or something.
Yes, and she bangs people. She bangs.
Yeah.
This guy is crazy. So yeah, make sure you go check these shows out. Definitely the Berlin show. I think I got a feeling that's gonna be great. I wish I was there to actually check that out, but I'm sure hopefully somebody will take video. And
I would love to come back to America.
Yeah, we want to get you back. You just played for me before, so
yeah, I did.
Maybe I'm thinking about something next year, so I would definitely keep you in mind because you got fans here. I hope you know that you got fans here in West Michigan, so that's for sure. So let's get this. Damn, I'm kind of getting out of order right now. Everybody, thank you. Let's give Gab a round of applause for coming through. It was a great discussion, and I thank you for really coming through. But while you're here, you're going to help us today. So, people, Like, share, and subscribe to that channel. Hit that notification bell. Gap says hit it, you hit it. So make sure you hit it. This fool over here. I'm gonna get you on in a second. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Helps us push things up in the algorithms. People know we're here, and we can go further on further projects and things like that. So yeah. We are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Today, you probably won't want to go there because you want to see this young lady's beautiful face, so it's there. But just in case you don't not see us but want to see her, go check us out there. When you're there, like and subscribe and follow us there. We are also on Instagram, MS Live with D-KNOX. That is MS Live with D-KNOX on Instagram, and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Myles Sergé. We might have a new job for you because Roberto seems not to be doing his job right now. The new email person is Gab right now. So email Gab anything, complaints, concerns, anything towards us, MS Live with D-KNOX at gmail.com. That is MS Live with D-KNOX and with at gmail.com. He won't get back to you. So we are also DJs and producers. So please, we like to play music too for people just like you. That rhyme, that's been dope, right? Yeah, all right. Anyway. you can find me at Position 2 Bookings. That is Position 2 Bookings at gmail.com. For me, Mr. Donnell Knox doesn't DJ anymore. He does this fabulous live performance. It's pretty dope. And it's dope as hell. You can see this on several platforms of what he's doing. He's doing a great job. But hit Donnell at booking at stellarbookings.com. That's booking at stellarbooking, not as stellarbooking.com. Get at him. This thing's is dope. And since I'm here, I would like to say today, like, we are mobile, and I would like to thank one of our so-called sponsors that's here, Miss Pound Michigan Beer. They allowed us to, at least me, to broadcast from today. Everybody, this is Mr. Mark from
everybody?
Pound Michigan Beer. This y'all, one of our supporters. We'd like to thank you for allowing us to be in here. So make sure you check him out. Where can they check you out, Mark?
You can check me out on the Instagrams at Pound Michigan Beer. What else I got?
What is Pound Michigan Beer?
Pound Michigan Beer is kind of a play on words. So, the older generation talks about the pound sign, younger generation talks about the hashtag. So it's a kind of play on the words of like pounding a beer, like how you pound a beer. And then definitely supporting the Michigan beer, craft beer, Michigan. So all good beer is craft beer.
Yeah, what he said. Check him out. Sponsors, Pound Michigan Beer. That's Mr. Mark.
Get on it.
She said get on it. So make sure you guys get on it. Gab said get on it.
Get on it.
All right. Another round of applause for her. Mr. Mark, too. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And until next time, people, stay alive, drink beer, listen to music, go see Gab at her live performances.
GV-LOV.
GV-LOV. Listen, go see. Listen to Donnell. Book Donnell. Do all this.
D-KNOX.
Book me. Merchandise coming soon, so check it out. Until then, y'all, peace, and we'll see you later.
Love.